time for us to put our focus on what is happening in the Punjab Congress. Will they, won't they, is a question that everyone has been wanting an answer to, because this is a battle, remember, that has continued for far too long between the sitting Chief Minister, Captain Amarinder Singh, and Navjot Sidhu. Now, what we can tell you now is that Captain Amarinder Singh has dialed Sonia Gandhi. He's given an ultimatum that he's ready to step down if Sidhu is not reined in. So the captain then making it very, very clear that there is no way that he will let Navjot Sidhu get the upper hand. But what really does this mean for the Congress in the state of Punjab? That is, again, remember, looking at elections next year. You're looking at the two camps continuously speaking out of turn, continuously speaking in public, something that the High Command also has been looking at for the last few months. In fact, you would recall that a number of meetings, Aishwarya, have also happened between the High Command, between Captain Amarinder Singh, between Navjot Sidhu, and also, a three-member panel, Aishwarya, that has been formed. It met about 150 leaders from the state of Punjab, but still, Aishwarya, there seems to be absolutely no resolution in sight.
Deepti, at the end of the day, Congress party needs to understand that they need to grow over the comedy of Navjot Sidhu. They need to understand that Priyanka Gandhi and then Rahul Gandhi cannot give audience to a leader who is not only speaking out against one of their loyalists, one of the tallest leader of a Congress party in Punjab, but also the state which is going to polls in the next 6 to 7 months under the leadership of Captain Amarinder Singh. You have a sitting not only a top leader, another top leader, but a leader who claims to have support of both Rahul and Priyanka Gandhi speaking against Captain Amarinder Singh. That gives a clear indication that both Sonia and Rahul are not in favor of Captain. And if that's so, then why do you have such a leader leading the Congress party and the MLAs into the elections in the next 6 to 7 months? So the Congress party really needs to decide. And keeping this in mind, understanding this, Captain Amarinder Singh has directly called up two people, Sonia Gandhi and Kamal Nath. Two people have been called up. Kamal Nath, keeping in mind that he is one of the closest and the most senior-most leaders of the Congress party now, after Ahmed Patel not being there anymore, making it clear that Captain Amarinder Singh, if Navjot Sidhu is reined in, and if Navjot Sidhu feels that by having the blessings of Rahul and Priyanka, he can speak against him, then Captain is being forced to move out of the party. That is what we are being told by our sources, that Captain has made it clear and has given a clear indication to both, that is Kamal Nath and Sonia Gandhi, that if this time around Navjot Sidhu doesn't stop, then he is not going to come to Delhi. He is going to decide his future action, and the indication is very clear that he's going to walk out. And he's not going to walk out alone. You're talking about a sitting chief minister. You are talking about Captain Amarinder Singh. You are talking about a man who's been in Congress ever since at least 4 to 5 decades. The man who was said to be the closest friend of late Prime Minister and then father of Sonia and Rahul. So whatever are their preferences, you cannot have a leader speaking against your own chief minister when the state is going to polls in the next 6 to 7 months. So it's up to the Congress party to decide whether they would want Navjot Sidhu's comedy and comics to continue, or whether they would want Captain Amarinder Singh to lead the Congress party in the next 6 to 7 months into elections.
Absolutely, Aishwarya. We'll also be joined by Amandeep in just a bit, but because I have you right now, and you look at the big political picture here, Aishwarya, I want to ask you this question. This is a question I think a lot of our viewers would also be wondering about. That what is that Navjot Sidhu actually brings to the table that he's allowed such a free run, Aishwarya? Right from the time, remember, he went across Pakistan, he had hugged, the Pakistan army chiefs there, to n number of instances where there are transgressions. He's, not followed party discipline. He's not hurt the captain at all. He has crossed the line again and again. What is it that, actually is working in his support?
The problem is, or whether we should say that his X factor seems that the leadership of the Congress party, which is not at all clear, because it's not only Punjab. You talk about Rajasthan, you talk about Chhattisgarh, you talk about any other state. So all of these states, Congress is in trouble. But in case of Navjot Sidhu, the perception in Delhi is that he is very popular, and he is one day is going to overcome the popularity of Captain Amarinder Singh. But he is a man who has just joined in the Congress party. He is a man who has called Manmohan Singh names. Yes, it's clear that he has also unequivocally and very openly apologized for the same on a Congress dais. Yes, he has done it. And that seems to have clicked with the Gandhis. That seems to have clicked with at least Priyanka Gandhi per se. Because Priyanka Gandhi has made her a mission that Navjot Singh Sidhu needs to be the face of the Congress party in Punjab. And if that's so, then you need to send the clear message to Captain Amarinder Singh. Because it's having a very adverse and a trickling effect onto the MLAs and the ministers. They don't know which way to go. And with elections coming up, also getting into the fray, it's going to be a triangular fight like in other states, like in Uttarakhand. So Punjab is going to go for a three-way fight. You are going to have Captain Amarinder Singh fighting Navjot Singh Sidhu and not fighting Sukhbir Badal and not fighting Arvind Kejriwal. Will this benefit Congress? No. But that is what happens when there is no clarity at the top. And that's the reality. In the case of Congress party, because there is no clarity at top, Captain Amarinder Singh is busy fighting and then trying to ridicule Navjot Singh Sidhu, that is just not able to concentrate onto the Akalis, onto the Congress, onto the Aam Aadmi Party now. So all of this, the Congress leadership needs to understand, and that's why you see, Captain has called in directly Kamal Nath and then Sonia Gandhi. Kamal Nath is the eyes and ears of Sonia Gandhi. Everyone in the Congress party understands that. And if Captain needs to send a message directly to Sonia, he has conveyed it to Sonia Gandhi, according to our sources, but he has also conveyed it to Kamal Nath, keeping in mind the hierarchy within the Congress, that if Rahul and Priyanka wants to do it, then he should be given a clear indication and he'll move out. That is what we are being told by our sources, that if Navjot Singh Sidhu, because Navjot Singh Sidhu even today comes out and says that the Congress Chief Minister, the tallest leader of the Congress in Punjab, is allying with the Akalis. So what is Navjot Singh Sidhu saying? That Congress party for the last 5 years, for the last 10 years, has been in alliance with the Akalis. And if so, then Priyanka Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi should come out and then accept that, yes, we allowed Captain Amarinder Singh to be in alliance with the Akalis. So what were you opposing when you come to power? You went to the people against the Akalis, and now your leader blames your chief minister, saying that he's in alliance with the Akalis. So what is happening within the Congress party? So that's why I'm saying it's Navjot Singh Sidhu has been very successfully been able to make the Punjab Congress into a comic show. It's a comedy show right there. The MLAs just don't know which way to go.